So this is a live room. Obviously, when they're playing, we don't have the big lights on, but for the camera, it's the best, I think.
Awesome.
So this is where we got the kit, right in front of this little booth. So sometimes we have a mic in here that has a sort of nice resonance to it. But the main setup is pretty simple, really. M69 on the top of the snare, Bayer, which I much prefer to the 57. It's got better separation and it's got a lot more tone. It's hypercardioid. I really love that mic. Just a 57 on the bottom. It's got all the crunch that you need. For rock, I think that's better than an 84.
Yeah.
When they're really leathering it,
yeah.
It takes it better. 451 on the Hat and Ride. Bayer 201s on the toms. Again, hypercardioid, better separation, little bit of distance. 87s for overheads, which in this room was a suggestion by Jeremy Stacey when we were doing the Roger Daltrey thing, because I had Coles up, which sounded brilliant in this room, but we were doing a really kind of punchy, hard-hitting thing with loads of open hi-hat, and he suggested 87s, and my engineer ego immediately sort of went, I'm using Coles, and then I put that to one side and said, no, let's give this a go, and they sounded brilliant, so I had to give him credit. So and this is quite a hard-hitting thing that we're doing here, so so they were the obvious choice.
Brilliant.
And then on the bass drum, FET 47, that's a no-brainer, but a little bit up and slightly angled. That was a fluke. We put it there one day just to try it, and it just had a little bit more air about it.
Yeah.
Actually hasn't got that good separation. There is a good bit of snare in there, but if you get the distance right, it's not hurting it at all.
And that's kind of, sometimes there's a position just here with an extra mic that picks up the kit as well, isn't it? So
yeah, totally.
Sometimes
you can go in there.
Yeah.
Sometimes the side of the snare.
Yeah.
Side of the snare is one of those ones, if there's a little hole, I sometimes stick a mic on that, and every time you put it up, it's brilliant. I love the side snare, mate. I should do that every time. Yeah. And then you never end up using it in the mix.
No, exactly.
And a D12 just on the whole. I prefer D12 to D112 because it's just got the middle rather than the click kind of thing, and I just think it's more toneful.
Yeah.
And then it's just a simple stereo room, not that far back from the kit. The room's really balanced, so that's easy. And then in this back room over here, which is also a brilliant drum room in its own right. This is where I did most of the Manic drums in here, actually. But we wanted that kind of dry basis. So this is a much liver space with a higher ceiling. So we can just stick a mic here and just compress it to fuckery. Yeah. And that's it. That's 16 mics, which seems like enough.
That's
for a drum sound.
Yeah.
So yeah, all the guys were playing in here together.
Yeah.
Brilliant headphone system here, where all the guys have got their own mixers, so I can just feed them direct outs from Pro Tools, and they can sort out their own balances, which is a gift to us, as you know.
Yeah, and it's really important for the band, isn't it? Because one mix doesn't suit all.
No. But even when you're doing separate mixes in there, it's kind of, it's another thing on your engineering list you've got to sort out.
And the benefit, I don't know here, but benefits of having an assistant that can come out and just go and help the guys with their mix and just make sure everybody's comfortable. And
of course.
It's a massive part of it, and brilliant.
So and then we're very lucky here that we have all these other rooms, which I'll take you through and show you now. So the guys can be playing the guitar in here, and then we have those little labs leads that use the microphone lead to extend everything, and you don't lose any gain. And then it goes through to the little lab splitter in the other room, and we've got a bunch of amps in there. And then at the end of the room, there's the bass amp as well. I'll take you through.
Yeah, cool. You're not playing Hammond on this one?
Not on this one.
They're not in your key.
Yeah, it's not D. So through here, this is another amazing drum room in here. And we need some overdubs, but here are all the amps. So we've got a bunch of lovely old amps, early 70s Hiwatt, mid 70s Marshall, early 70s Selma. That's a 100-watt Sims Watts.
Right.
60s one, that's just bell-like clean.
Right.
Really lovely. A couple of modern Marshalls. And Marshall cab, a high-watt cab, an orange cab. Mad little combo.
Mm-hmm.
And then out the back, over here, we have bass amp, 8x10. And my beloved little Watkins Westminster.
Awesome.
Which is like a real gnarly little fucker.
Yeah.
So sometimes when you got the big sort of middly toneful, high watt Marshall, and they're doing that thing, that little Watkins is so gnarly, and it just sits in there and goes rah.
Yeah.
The sound, the sound goes from there to there, kind of thing. But it's quiet, so having it in another booth is a good thing.
And I mean, not you can put a lot of money into certain bits of gear and old amps and stuff, but these little amps, distros are absolutely stunning.
Absolute game changer.
Yeah.
When I got that, everything changed. Individual earth lift for each amp. So I always ran multiple amps.
Yeah.
And I always had like crocodile clips and splitter pedals and earth lift plug boards and all the pain in the arse stuff. And I remember sitting in Rack Studios and saying it was me and Sean Ginocchi. We were going to get something made that would have phase, an earth lift, and it would split to 3 amps. And we were showing off to the table saying, this is what we're going to have made, and it's going to be amazing. He said, well, that's a little amps, isn't it? And I was like, no, you don't understand. We've come up with this great idea.
Yeah.
And he said, I'll show you on the internet. It's a little amp. I was like, Jesus. And I literally ordered one there and then.
Yeah, stunning.
Which is absolutely amazing piece of equipment that changes everything about guitar. But like you say, you don't need to spend a bunch of money. That's Selma.
Yeah.
I got that in Spitalfields Market for 120 quid. It's a point-to-point, hand-wired. And, I looked online last night because the guitar player in this band really loves it. And you can still get them on eBay for 400 quid now.
You could, until you said that.
No, it's brilliant.
But
I guess the thing about this and this whole setup is you're just keeping your session flow going. It's like we want to do something now, you can do it.
exactly.
Which is a reason for coming to a studio like this.
It's just worth taking that bit of time at the start of the session so that when you're in the creative flow, it's like, right, guitar, off we go.
Yeah. And at no time do you have to stop a musician from who wants to do something.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
brilliant.
And they really appreciate that.
Yeah.
The ease.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
So you set up for vocals, or do you not bother at this stage?
Normally I would. Yeah. It's just that they're doing all the vocals in Scotland. So we're just doing it's a weird, unusual situation. So I'm doing all the ballsy end, and then they're doing all the top lines in Scotland. So we've never done it like this before, but it's cool.
Interesting. Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you for your time. It's been absolutely brilliant coming
No
back
problem.
here and having a chat with you.
Yeah.
Great.
Brilliant.